A female influencer spent $140,000 to look like a robot. Texas warns the public, don't have measles parties, please. And a veterinarian faces theft charges after refusing to return a homeless man's dog. These are the weird stories on Weird AF News, the only daily weird news podcast that's ready to go daily. It's weird, it's news, it's daily. Let's go. An influencer spent $140,000 to look like a robot. You know what would be more impressive? Is if an influencer got a real job. Now that would be headline news, wouldn't it? This story I have features a Chinese social media star who spent $140,000 on cosmetic procedures to transform herself into a humanoid robot. She's causing a stir online because of this activity, especially after a recent visit to her rural hometown. She's a 30-year-old social media influencer. She's known as Dalaotian, Dalaotian. I don't know who this is. Dalaotian. She's got 5 million followers. 5 million? Wow, I'd give anything for 50,000. 50,000, I'd be like, wow, people like me, sort of. Anyways, this influencer, she's pushing the boundaries between human and machine. Standing at over 6 feet 2 inches tall, she wears a metallic silver bodysuit, light blue contact lenses, and a short bob wig that completes her android-like appearance. I'm looking at a picture of her here. It looks like most of her money was just spent on cosmetic surgery to not look Chinese. But that's just me. She's attractive, that's for sure. Pretty tall for a Chinese girl. It says her commitment to the robot persona extends beyond mere costumes, guys. The influencer's movements are carefully calculated to mimic mechanical gestures just like robots, and her face, transformed through extensive cosmetic procedures, resembles that of an anime character. Her dedication to the robotic look is so convincing that she once triggered artificial intelligence detection systems on social media platforms. Wow, you're winning in life, lady. You're almost a robot. She's not quite a robot, guys, because she still poops, from my understanding. But maybe with a little bit more money, you won't be pooping anymore. You'll be a real robot. I want to be a real robot. It turns out that Nissan noticed this woman and hired her for an event where she was seen alongside several of the company's concept cars, perhaps hinting at a future where robots seamlessly blend into our world. Oh, this lady's making so much more money than me without any talent whatsoever, sadly. The influencer, as I mentioned earlier, she went to her hometown in China's Sichuan province. She maintained her robot appearance when she visited the town and created an unusual scene as local matchmakers continued their traditional role of introducing potential suitors despite her unconventional appearance. Well, she went on a speed dating event in her rural hometown dressed as a robot. Not dressed as a robot. She kind of like is a robot now because you can't really take off some of that stuff. Now, it says she's obviously invested significant time and money into her transformation, with procedures focusing mostly on her face and chest. Yeah, she does have some nice voluptuous robo-boobs, I would say. Her unique appearance and commitment to her robot persona have captivated audiences online, leaving many viewers debating whether they're watching a human or an advanced android. Well, she doesn't look that robotic, kind of. The bodysuit she's wearing looks like something you could get at a Spirit Halloween store, to be honest. The stuff she's done to her face looks expensive, and it's probably going to be something that she regrets in a decade. This article ends by saying the contrast between this influencer's futuristic appearance and the traditional matchmaking customs of rural China has particularly amused social media users, highlighting the fascinating intersection of modern internet culture with traditional social practices. And it's going to continue to intersect closer and closer until basically we have robot girlfriends and boyfriends. Anyone want a robot girlfriend, guys? What's that like? My robot girlfriend just ate my earbuds again. Oh, and now she's got a headache. Typical. Texas officials warn the public, please don't have any measles parties, as the outbreak of measles keeps on growing. No measles parties, guys. Because, that's a brilliant way to solve the problem. Or you could just burn a few witches in the town square. I heard that is a cure. We have here Lubbock, Texas Public Health Director Catherine Wells says they see no end in sight for this outbreak of measles, which now spans 9 counties in Texas, many of which have low vaccination rates. What a surprise. Ding, 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 ding. What could be going on here, guys? Could it be low vaccination rates? Nah, we don't get vaccinated in Texas. Come on, man. That's for weak liberals. All right. We own our measles. We call them freedom rashes. Go get your freedom rashes, kids. Now, Catherine is a little bit alarmed by the situation over there in Texas. She says, quote, this outbreak is going to continue to grow. It says here, 116 of the 146 cases are under the age of 18, with 46 between the ages of 0 and 4. Only 5 of the 146 cases were vaccinated with at least 1 dose of the measles, mumps, and rubella, which is the MMR vaccine, which is the normal vaccine to give a child. I guess if you're in a different state, that's normal. Well, don't worry, guys. I'm sure this will be solved quickly, you know. The CDC is still working hard, and they're fully funded. Oh, wait, my bad, they're not. Well, don't worry. The new Secretary of Health is a real doctor who believes in science and vaccines as well. Oh, wait, no, my bad. No, that's not true either. Well, you know, don't worry. If your kid gets seriously ill and you can't afford treatment, there's still Medicare. Oh, my bad. No, that's I think that's disappeared as well. Well, on the bright side, guys, this could benefit our country long term in the average IQ statistics department. You know, I think that's a pretty important stat to keep track of. Well, guys, if you didn't think the U.S. was cooked already, got the measles outbreak among everything else. Hey, back to the Middle Ages, back to the Middle Ages. If there was only some safe way to expose the kids with a tiny bit of the disease so they could build up immunity, if there was only a way to do that, do you guys have any ideas? I'm putting it out there. The article says, so far in the outbreak, which erupted late last month, messaging about the disease and the importance of vaccinations has exclusively come from state and local authorities. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention only released a brief statement last week, which was not sent through the agency's press distribution list. It did, however, note that, quote, vaccination remains the best defense against measles infection. Yeah, the CDC is, they only have enough employees to send emails at this point. They can't really fix anything, I don't think. It says during a cabinet meeting, U.S. Health Secretary and anti-vax advocate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. responded to a question about the measles outbreak, offering a variety of inaccurate information. What a surprise. He downplayed the outbreak, falsely claiming that it's not unusual. No, it's not unusual. If it's 1580, it's not unusual. It is actually excruciatingly unusual right now. Caitlin Jedalina, who is a epidemiologist, I don't think I said that right. Anyways, she says the number of U.S. measles cases this year has already surpassed the total case counts from 8 of the previous 15 years, and it is only March. We're cooked, guys. We're cooked. Well, at least the kids get to go to an extra party, you know. The measles parties, probably a good time, right? I love parties, Ma. What kind of party is it? Well, honey, it's the party where you can go and, well, you might end up deaf or blind, but that sounds fun, right? Well, don't forget the scarring, infertility, and possible permanent brain damage. Come on, put on your party shoes.
Your data is like gold to hackers. They're selling your passwords, bank details, and private messages. McAfee helps stop them. Secure VPN keeps your online activity private. AI-powered text scam detector spots phishing attempts instantly. And with award-winning antivirus, you get top-tier hacker protection. Plus, you'll get up to $2 million in identity theft coverage, all for just $39.99 for your first year. Visit McAfee.com. Cancel anytime. Terms apply.
Hey, Todd, Daddy, how you doing?
A veterinarian faces theft charges after refusing to return a homeless man's dog. This story's out of Michigan. A Michigan veterinarian who said she rescued a distressed dog that was tied to a truck is facing theft charges after failing to return the dog to a homeless man. Amanda Hergenritter took the dog on a 2-hour drive to her clinic where she performed procedures for the dog to relieve a severe urinary tract infection and to remove a rotten tooth as well. She named him Bigby and says the 16-year-old pit bull mix is thriving nearly 4 months later. She's had the dog 4 months? The Kent County prosecutor said Bigby, the dog, belongs to Chris Hamilton, who lately lacks a permanent home in the Grand Rapids area. Chris claims ownership of a dog known to him as his beloved Vinny. We have a quote from Chris here. He says, "I just want my dog back. I had my dog 15 years and never neglected him. And, we loved each other. I mean, I felt like I lost part of my body after that. Never felt the same after losing my dog." Well, I don't want to call Chris a liar, but wasn't your dog just tied up to a truck, left alone? That sounds like neglect to me. I don't know. Let's keep reading. I don't want to begrudge a homeless man his dog. I know that's a lonely lifestyle. I see a lot of homeless people with dogs, and it seems like they're good companions. We have a prosecutor in this story who says this is a simple case of larceny, a misdemeanor that carries a maximum sentence of 93 days in jail. They're having a jury selection for a trial that's scheduled for later this week. They're having a trial about this dog? That's fascinating. The prosecutor says, quote, "You don't have a right to just take something because you feel something's wrong. People have a very big attachment to their animals. No matter where you are in life, what your stature is in life, be it rich, poor, whatever it is, this is something that's important to an individual." I agree with the prosecutor. However, there's some weird circumstances in this case. Like, it wasn't like the homeless guy brought the dog to her to fix, and then she kept it. It was kind of like she found the dog and didn't know that it belonged to somebody, it seems. If it is, in fact, his dog, I mean, obviously the dog should be given back. Maybe with a stern warning not to just leave your dog tied up to a truck bumper. I don't think that's a nice way to treat your beloved dog. The veterinarian said she was in Grand Rapids for a professional conference when she saw the dog tied to a truck next to a coffee shop. There is no dispute that she called the police department and animal shelter and also talked to a shop employee. Apparently she was trying to find the owner, but that didn't turn up, so she brought the dog back and performed medical procedures at her clinic worth about $3,000. Chris, the owner of the dog, says he tied the dog to the truck. He admits that while he walked to a gas station. He said when he returned about 45 minutes later, coffee shop employees told him some lady in a van came and took the dog and cut the rope. Oh, okay, so he was there. He just left his dog for a bit to go get lunch, it seems. All right, that's theft, clearly. The veterinarian has an attorney named Miles who is offering a vigorous defense of the veterinarian. He said that she fears the dog won't get the attention he needs in old age if she gives the dog up to the homeless man. Well, listen, you have to give the dog back, lady. I'm so sorry to inform you. It's not your dog. You don't get to go around in life and just social justice warrior like this. This is a crime. Her lawyer says, quote, "Chris didn't even take such basic steps as licensing the dog. Now he expects a benevolent doctor to give Bigby the medical treatment he's been denied and needs moving forward and then give the dog back. I think it's an unfortunate situation all the way around." Yeah, it's unfortunate, sure, but, someone's in the wrong here, like from a legal perspective, and then someone might be in the wrong from a moral or unethical perspective, being that maybe the homeless man isn't giving the dog the treatment it needs. We don't know. We're just speculating. The dog had a urinary tract infection. That's common. Dogs get that. That doesn't necessarily mean it's because of the dog's lifestyle. I know dogs that live in amazing, clean homes that still get UTIs. Oh, and the dog had a rotten tooth. Well, it was 16 years old or whatever, 15 years old. So, maybe you guys disagree with me, but I think this homeless man should be giving his dog back. It's not like the dog has a long time to live anyways. Just I'm sure the dog would rather live it out with Chris, the longtime companion that the dog has had, if what he's saying is true. Anyways, call the show 646-450-2012.
Are you still quoting 30-year-old movies? Have you said cool beans in the past 90 days? Do you think Discover isn't widely accepted? If this sounds like you, you're stuck in the past. Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. And every time you make a purchase with your card, you automatically earn cash back. Welcome to the now. It pays to Discover. Learn more at discover.com/credit card, based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
Hi, my friends and loyal listeners of the Weird AF News podcast, my podcast that I record 5 days a week inside a closet in Los Angeles. I appreciate you. This is Jonesy, the host. If you're new to the show, please consider subscribing if you would enjoy 5 days a week of strange, weird, sometimes funny, sometimes sad news. Not as sad as mainstream news, though, and not as stressful, unless, you live in a neighborhood that has a measles outbreak, of course. I want to thank you guys for hanging out. Hope you had a nice weekend. If you would like to reach out to me, my email is funnyjones@gmail.com, and I'm on Instagram at funnyjones. I left the phone number earlier if you want to call and leave a little message. Try and keep it brief and don't swear, please. I have a nice review on Amazon from Ashley Winkle. She gave me 5 stars. Isn't that nice? 5 stars. Pretty generous. Ashley wrote, Weird AF News, a daily dose of joy in this crazy world. She says, I started listening to Weird AF News during one of the hardest times in my life when my husband was sick. Since then, I've lost him. But this podcast has remained a constant source of comfort, laughter, and connection. Jonesy's weird, wonderful world is exactly what I need every day. His impressions are both terrible and brilliant, which is part of the magic. The music is a vibe, and the humor is sharp yet full of heart. Even though he downplays it, Jonesy's sharp wit, quick thinking, and deep understanding of the world make it clear he's absolutely brilliant. Wow, brilliant. Ashley, I've never been called brilliant before. Come on. Wow, I need to send this to my mom. Ashley writes, I've listened for so long that I feel like I know him and all the fellow weirdos who tune in. It's like being part of a strange, hilarious little family. One day I hope to see a live show and finally buy Jonesy a coffee. Or better yet, a Guinness. Oh, Ashley knows what I want. Some days I laugh. No matter what kind of day I'm having, Weird AF News is always there to lift my spirits. Thank you, my fellow weirdo, for giving me joy when I needed it most. Stay weird. Ashley Winkle. Isn't that a sweet? That's a really sweet message. My goodness. It's, it's reviews and messages like this that keep me sitting down in this closet 5 days a week. I have to tell you. It's certainly not the money because there isn't much of it, but it's knowing that I'm sort of helping people, which I never thought I'd be in that position to help people like this. I tell jokes at stand-up comedy, and in a way I think I'm helping people that way too, because people need a laugh right now, especially. So I always think that I'm sort of healing. But I get many more positive reactions from this podcast than I do anything else that I've ever done, as far as doing some good in the world. It seems like I'm doing some good in the world. That makes me feel, good. I will not have lived in vain if this is all I did with my life. At least, I cheered up a few people and made people laugh when they were going through a tough time, like Ashley went through. So I want to give Ashley some love and a shout out, and just want to thank you for writing that very, very, very nice review. So appreciate that. I get a lot of really mean reviews and messages. I get messages from people that say, "I'm not going to listen to this podcast anymore, Jonesy, because you made fun of the right." Or you made fun of a priest or whatever. It's like, hey, bro, I make fun of everybody. So I don't know what you're talking about. Anyways, thanks for sticking with me, everyone who has. I appreciate that. If you want to write a review, it's pretty helpful. You can do it on Amazon or Apple Podcasts, also known as iTunes, and some other places. If you're listening on Spotify, which I know a lot of you might be, you can just click on 5 stars, and it takes 1 second. If you would do that, that would help out greatly. Just click on the stars. No need to write anything. You can't really write anything. So yeah, just click on 5 star or 4 or 3. I'm cool with 3. 3's cool. Appreciate that. And I guess we'll see you tomorrow. And good luck with your life, man.